Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about socialism in United States, in modern United States, and modern socialism, because probably people do not understand what is socialism and what is capitalism and what is communism, and therefore not that I'm pro-socialism or pro-communism. In Russia, I am arguing that socialism impossible and communism impossible. In America, I'm trying to argue that socialism is good thing. I am not socialist, I am not communist. Sorry, she will be yawning time to time. So you must understand that socialism, it's not about killing people, free stuff, I don't know, something along those lines, and police state, etc., and liberal values, and I don't know, liberal values ruined and destroyed USSR. It means that liberal values destroyed socialism. It wasn't socialism yet. It's not about it wasn't real socialism. It wasn't socialism at all. It was governing. It was state capitalism. Everyone compete with each other in the planned economy. It was the same capitalism with human face. That's it. And actually that is why it's fall apart, but it's a different topic. So socialism, it's not ideology. So as communism, it's not an ideology, just as capitalism, it's not an ideology. It's system of economical relationships between human and companies. Pretty much that's it. It's not about that socialism in some shape or form is good or bad, whether I'm thinking it's good or not thinking. I do think that socialistic system way better for common people than capitalistic system, but you have to also understand the basics. Why do I think that, etc. So this is not about promoting socialism, promoting social values, promoting, I don't know, communism, and but this slogan that American people took from 50s propaganda, from 50s government propaganda, that good commie is a dead commie. It's like good Indian is a dead Indian. It's literally you following the government propaganda. Government agenda is putting you in position where you hate commies, whether you know what is communism or socialism or not. Mainstream media, in the same time you're saying that mainstream media is evil and fake news, and in the same time you believe mainstream media that Venezuela ruined because of socialism, that communism is oppressive system in China, that we have to help Hong Kong, that Cuba was awful country. You have to take each situation and look at it at the core of it. It's like, I will say that capitalism, it's a bad system. Who cares? Really, who cares? Even I don't care. I can point it out, but I will not be saying that Capitalism, it's a bad system, therefore we have to destroy it, etc. We simply can't destroy capitalism. It's a system of economical relationships between people and companies. That's it. There is no real quote-unquote socialism, there is no real quote-unquote capitalism, just as people in the United States right now thinking that this capitalism, it's a wrong capitalism, it's not that capitalism that we want to, that we want it to be, etc. There is no such thing as real or not real. If it's here, it's real, it's capitalism. If it's here, it's real, it's socialism. See? Socialism in USSR, as I want to say it again, fall apart in the moment that government said that we tired of socialism and we will transfer to capitalism. They openly say that, even though before this in early 80s it was a big transfer towards the capitalism. Yet as soon as country followed transfer from socialism to capitalism, it fall apart. Do you even know about this situation? Do you even know that it was happening in the USSR? I guess not. And you simply blame socialism is the answer, right? Socialism is why USSR fall apart. When there was no really socialistic system in place since the Stalin died. There was no repressions at Cuba, there was no big struggle in Cuba. And every dissidents that you welcome in your country, that running away from socialistic countries, right? They literally used as weapon of propaganda. Of course they are. Come on, people, wake up. It's not something about that government will be promoting something that don't go towards their propaganda. If something is against their propaganda, they will not perpetuate it. They will not print it in papers. They will not show these people in TV shows, in mainstream media. And yet, all those people who are you thinking that heroes who run away from Cuba, Venezuela, USSR, socialistic countries, etc. Most of them, most of those, no, all of them who ended up being popular, being well known in Western countries, being on mainstream media, whether it's papers or TV, all of them perpetuated same propaganda that American government and Western governments as general want you to believe in. This is traitors, this is liars, this is people who sell their homeland, and you trust them over the people who right now living in Russia, right now living in Cuba or Venezuela. You believe those people because their words are very good, following your worldview that was shaped and perpetuated by government propaganda since 50s. And yet you don't know that USSR and United States of America was allies before the World War II ends. Why they why they try to demonize USSR. It's pretty simple, because workers' rights, better control, and people involvement in government decisions, because human rights, because women's rights, because no racism in USSR, etc. There was no such things as was pretty much common in United States of America and Western world in general, where simple worker is a slave, where simple worker have no rights, capital and rich people have big advantage over the common people and workers in the rule of law, in human rights, in opportunities, etc. And as soon as Western elite, capitalistic elite, sorry for her yawning, as soon as capitalistic elite, as soon as Western elite understand that if people will see how other people live in USSR, they might throw them from the throne and simply kill them and make revolution and suddenly and finally fight for the rights. And they create a strawman, commie. And now, 70 years after, you suddenly become commie haters, when in United States there is no socialistic movement, like almost at all. There is commune movement, there is social movement, there is, I don't know, human rights movement, and pretty much all there is, it's a socialistic, because all those things. Why it is called socialistic? It's pretty simple, because it's called socialism. It means that it pointed out it's economic system where social values much more important over the not single people rights, while I think it's total bullshit, but over the egoism, over the, it means that community, it's much more important, survival of community is much more important in economical terms than single person survival. And if society prosper, then it means that common people and single people will prosper. I don't believe in this concept that every life matters. I don't believe that you even believe in this. I don't believe that single individual rights matter for you. No, it doesn't. What matters for you is your own ass, and that's it. And it's for you. But as for values, you think that no one can mess with your rights, or I don't know, something along those lines. You are literally debt slaves. You was turned to debt slaves since the Yalta Agreement or Bilderberg Agreement. I don't really know. But yet, capitalism ended pretty much a long time ago, in 1971 or 3, when there was crisis in the United States of America. It was end of capitalism. Since then, it was like since that crisis, you simply bubbling up the debt, and you as person, you as citizen of United States, you used as this debt holder. and this debt repair. You have to work to repay your debts. You have to work, contribute into this debt economy, grow up, not grow up, but pile up the debt, so capitalism can continue going on, can continue going. And since 73, I guess, when Reaganomics was invented, they unpacked the dollar from gold and start to print it in big numbers. It means that it's not like that they print it because they want to and they can. No, and it doesn't work that way. They convince you to take a loan and repay it in the future, and therefore they print money. You take a loan and repay this. A corporation repay these debts, individuals repay these debts, etc. But all you have to do is make this surplus value. But where it came from? Nowhere. Really nowhere. It's all about today we will take a loan and tomorrow we will repay it by taking another loan. Or work our ass off and we will consume as much goods as we can. Come on. It's social engineering, it's nothing else. They create for you idea that to be able to repay the debt, it's somehow better than to be able to pay, simply pay. So you think that if you will repay the big debt, right? If you repay the debt, it's somehow better if you simply buy something by the money that you have. They convince you to work your ass off and consume as much as you can. That's it. That is what capitalistic system is. Capitalistic system of economical relationships between people and companies. It's not an ideology. So is socialism. It's not an ideology. It's transfer towards the communism. What is communism? It's not an ideology. It's economical system of relationships between people and companies, if they're such, or state in that matter. In communism, your voice matters. Why? It's very simple. Because you're the part of commune. Commune choose the people, representatives. When in United States, you choose no one. You choose from the people who will go to Senate or represent you on the city level, right? You think that you choose, yet they get in money. Yes, of course, the contributions and sponsorships from the people, I understand this concept, yet they go into city hall to work for your good. Why? Why exactly successful people go into Senate? Why they spend millions to be elected as senators and representatives, even if in case of the Trump as president, to work for you? Why? Except my life matter and single individual rights, and I am so very important in the system. So except this, why exactly they should work for you, for the better of common people? I really believe this? You that much egocentristic that you can't think about nothing else but everyone think about you and you personally and no one else but you? You really believe this concept? And like you don't care about anyone else except you, but everyone else very, very much care about you. Really? Why? Because? I don't get it. I understand that people is a mob, people is a stupid crowd, but yet you can't be that stupid, really. There was no generation when so many smart people became such a stupid mob. Really. So many very smart people act as a stupid mob, nothing else. They repeating slogans that perpetuated by government and state propaganda. They repeating pretty much all the agenda that put from the liberal or conservative side. It really doesn't matter. It's really the same people. It's really the same people. They make you, common people, hate each other. They make you to fight against each other. They make you to be... They pretty much suck on your fear. They live off your fear. Can you understand this concept, I guess? They make you fear things or stuff or something. And then they simply live off of it. They use it as advantage to keep the system that's in place alive. And now we see what we see with Trump. It's not like Trump came to save us all. He's thinking about us because 70 years he was a capitalist and rich guy and asshole, and now suddenly when in the age where people doesn't change, suddenly he became so pro people, so pro I don't know, pro common people, etc. He's thinking about us suddenly. Come on, you must be so childish, you must be so stupid and easy to how it's, I don't know, they simply put these thoughts into your head and you believe it for some reason. Or you think that liberal people, liberal community people, common, I mean average people, not those who on the TV, not those who make videos on YouTube, cringing, feminists, etc. Not those, but common people, normal looking students, normal looking working people like you, that get together, that how it, they giving an arguments why socialism is better. You don't listen to them, you listen to those cringe idiots and mainstream media talking heads from the TV and mainstream and in general and from mainstream media. And after this you saying that I don't watch mainstream media, I hate mainstream media, they tell lies, they fake news. So don't watch it. Vote with dollar. Don't watch it. As I said to one guy, if you hate Twitter so much, if conservative hate Twitter so much, if Twitter perpetuate liberal values, etc., 60 million vote for Trump. 60 million people. If 60 million people get out from Twitter, Twitter will die. Simply will die. But instead of it, what you want? No, you don't want out of Twitter. You don't want to go out. You want to be there. You want to argue. You want to put your propaganda inside of Twitter. You want to argue with people. Vote with dollar. It's capitalism. I thought it's capitalism. Vote with dollar. Don't watch mainstream media. Don't watch Netflix. Don't watch, I don't know, anything. Don't watch TV at all. Watch YouTube. Watch other video platforms. Vote with dollar. No? So maybe problem is not in liberal agenda, not liberal propaganda, not illiberal people as general, and problem is not with conservatives or I don't know Trump supporters. The problem is nation as whole. The Western civilization as whole is a problem. Stupid people became smart people became stupid mob, and they believe only stuff that state perpetuated as propaganda, that state wants you to accept as their propaganda, and you accepting that, whether it's liberal values or conservative values, it doesn't matter, guys. There is no difference between you. I'm looking from the side. I am not American, therefore I'm not very, how it called, invested in American politics. It's of course very important because we all live in America after all, as Rammstein said. But I'm watching from a side, and I see how between liberals and conservative no real difference. Of course, on the side of conservative there is more reasonable people. I have to accept it. I have to agree with this. But liberal elite, it's financial elite. It's people who trying to keep the world as it was. They literally trying to save the world economy as it is now. While conservative people in America in general, particularly in America, they want America to be, how it goes, to destroy the system and rebuild it once again. It's very different approaches, and liberal elite is losing because it's just the shape of things. Simply, capitalism cannot go on forever like this. You cannot pile up the debt in essence, and they trying to do all they can to keep this thing going. And you will not believe this, of course, but you are the benefiter. You as American citizen or Western world citizen, you are benefit from this system. Why are you protected so much? Because you are as it called, you are representative of capital. Your benefit from this system, even though the system is using you as simple consumption slave. But yet liberal elite trying to keep things like this, while conservative elite trying to destroy modern capitalism. And you know what supposed to be, it's not like an effect, it's theory. Well, guys, after capitalism there's supposed to be socialism. So get this in your head. As one guy said, China want to conquer the world to give it away to a Muslim religion. What? I'm sorry. What? What? And you saying that conservative values is good because we will destroy our system and socialism is bad, but we will go into socialism, well, 20-30 years from now. What? I'm sorry. What? How are you going to even live with that in 20 or 30 years from now? So it's not like I'm protecting socialism. I still think socialism in our modern world impossible, and crash of capitalism will borrow millions or maybe hundreds of millions people will simply borrow them. And yet I have to agree that capitalism is reached limits, so that's it. You can't go on forever, simply can't. So you please simply try to get the shit from the 50s out of your head, clean it, and look at the world much more clearly. I can tell you one thing. USSR fall apart. It was caused by capitalism, and the state of things in Eastern Europe right now, it's cause of capitalism. It's devastation. It's total devastation. Even Eastern Germany is in devastating state. Cuba crisis on Cuba and Venezuela caused by United States sanctions. It means that it's caused by capitalism. Socialism or communism, I don't know how you call it, while it's still state capitalism pretty much in China. It's very successful. Well, it have roots in socialism and communism. It's pretty much state socialism, and China will be in trouble if capitalism will collapse. Actually, socialism, not really socialism. It's pretty much still not state capitalism, but it's still capitalism. In Norway and Sweden, it's sponsored pretty much by oil and European Union. And the state of things right now, it's not socialistic countries, guys. It's have nothing to do with socialism at all. It's have social programs pointed on people, yes. It's capitalism with a human face. Yet what is going on right now there, it's all because of capitalism, not because of socialism. So try to reshape your worldview. I hope you will do the right choice for you. It's not about me, right? It's not about that you have to follow socialism or follow communism or I don't know, follow Buddhism for that matter. I don't care what you follow. What troubles me is that people are stupid and act like stupid and want to act like stupid and like it and like to act like stupid. That's what troubles me. As for ideologies, economic systems, it doesn't matter what we want or what we choose. Elite will create. There is a bunch of smart people who adapt world to conditions that the world is in right now, politically and economically. And it doesn't matter what you, as average citizens, think or want or wish. It doesn't matter. Political and economical elites will shape the world according to conditions that the world right now. What is better for them in the first place? How they can control the world and control the people. That's it. You decide nothing. You never decide nothing and never will be, because you are part of the mob. You're one small piece in the mob, and therefore you simple ant in the anthill. Your opinion doesn't matter. And on the great scheme of things, what if you disagree with current state of American politics? Who cares? Right? Even if, I don't know, 120 million people in America will be against, I don't know, war in Iraq or Afghanistan. Who cares? War will be going on because it's benefit the system as a whole. So simply throw this trash out of your head. Think clearly. Look at the world as it is, etc. There is nothing bad in socialism as economical system. The only difference is not the few rich guys own everything, but everyone own everything. That's pretty much the whole difference between not socialism, sorry, between capitalism and communism. That's all. Thank you for watching, I guess, if you even watching this.